I want to start by saying how privileged once again a number of us are to be here and able to observe a Somaliland election. We want, right up front in this press conference, to congratulate Somaliland and the National Electoral Commission on a generally well-run election, and a peaceful one at that. This election observation mission involves 60 observers from 20 We observed in approximately 350 polling stations yesterday and today, and continue to do so. We observed the opening of the polling stations early in the morning, the voting throughout the day, the closing, the counting on the polling station level, and then tallying, and observers continue to operate in the field, some returning today, some returning in the next 24 hours. We've observed some issues, including the cancellation of voting in some polling stations in Baram. Some issues are more widespread, including what appears to be underage voting in spite of the voter register. Of course, there is the perennial issue of lack of secrecy of vote in an open society, and that's particularly relevant to assisted voting, which we observed at high levels in many polling stations. There were some inconsistencies in counting, for example, in the way that invalid votes were dealt with, or whether the way they were determined to be invalid or valid. We have some concerns about voter education. We observed quite a large number of voters who were apparently unaware of how to vote or seemed confused by the process, in spite of the fact that the vote being a presidential election was a very simple one. There was also in some isolated instances, interference of security or other personnel in the process in a manner that was not consistent with the procedural handbook. But generally, the flaws that we observed, while problematic, were not systematic or widespread enough to, in our opinion, invalidate the procedure of the election to this point. We therefore, again, and I repeat, as I said at the beginning of this, congratulate Somaliland on an election day that was notably peaceful, that was, generally speaking, well run, and that seemed to offer a reasonable platform for Somalilanders to express their opinion on the political leadership they wish to select. This press conference is a preliminary one, and it is designed only to comment on the election day processes yesterday. We're not here today to make any pronouncements about overall assessment, because of course, as I've just said, the process of counting, tallying, and so on is still underway. We can't therefore offer any assessment of the validity of any outcome, because we don't know the outcome yet. So all we are doing now is to make a comment on the election day procedures themselves. I am also not commenting quite deliberately on the campaign or the lead up to the election, because that would be impossible to do in the context of this press conference right now. We will be making another statement on the 16th of November, in 2 days' time at 9 a.m, when we will be able to present a little bit more detail on the kind of information, the data that we're getting back from our observers. We will have had more time to process it, and we will therefore be able to offer a more advanced assessment of the electoral process in general. So this conference is really just to make the point that we were happy to witness yesterday, a peaceful election day, and an election day which, in spite of some inconsistency and flaws, seemed to be run well and seemed to proceed effectively. I would like to say a very warm thank you to all of those who helped us to make this possible. There were volunteers working with us on the team, people working with us locally who were instrumental in making sure that it was possible for us to conduct the observation that we did. I want to make special reference to Save the World and a very significant contribution they made to being able to provide vehicles and so on a day when the pressure on resources was particularly intense. It always is on an election day. Of course, I want to thank the coordination team, the core team, long-term observers, and I also want to very, very wholeheartedly thank the group of short-term observers that joined us only a few days ago and underwent intensive training before being deployed to the field. an election observation mission is a very strange thing in the sense that we bring a large and disparate group of people together, send them out into remote locations with people often that they've never met before, who they need to spend a good 24, 48 hours with, working very closely. So I want to pay special tribute to all the people that took part in that and made this possible. That's all I have to say about this, for this press statement. You will have a copy of the English and Somali versions, whichever is your preference, of the press statement.